Hello again from my front porch. It is Wednesday afternoon. What am I doing at my house on a Wednesday afternoon, you might ask? That's a very good question. See, I took some time off in the middle of the day here. I decided to make a quick little run up to Ames, where Brandy works, and surprise her by having lunch with her. And so went up and did that, and just got back to Des Moines from that. And I thought, you know what, I got back to Des Moines a little earlier than I had planned. I could just go on back to work and just get back into doing work earlier, or I could pause for a moment as I'm driving by my house and do a quick little hello from my front porch in the daytime. And so I decided, of course, to do that. Because, you know, it's really been a while since I did these just this way, as opposed to something about the book or from my office or from wherever. And so I thought, you know what, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity. I can't take too much advantage of it, though, because I still do have to actually go back to work. But I am pausing to do this one here now. And so as long, it's like every one of them, I have to have something to talk about a little bit. I mean, I could just babble about whatever. I'm good at that. But I thought for this one, what I'm going to try to, this shadowing is weird too. I'm not used to doing them at, you know, what is it, like 2 o'clock or 1 o'clock, 1:30 something in the afternoon. I'm not used to doing them at this time. The light comes in my porch weird here, but whatever. Anyway, so I'm trying to sit so that, you know, I'm not going over here or over there. Try to stay in this shaded spot here. Anyway. So I thought, I want to talk about some of my recent eBay purchases. I love eBay. eBay, fantastic thing. I love, and so there are. I have multiple passions, as you all know, multiple things that I'm interested in. But one of the things that I've been interested in for pretty much my entire life is the Monkees. Yes, the musical group, the TV show, the Monkees. I have a complete collection of their albums, original release versions of their albums, albums that everybody knows about and some that nobody knows about. So the Monkees, I had it, but even though I have like all of the albums that were the official released album, still there have been other albums over the years that have come out that have been kind of interesting, kind of collector stuff, and then even like 45s of some of their songs that I think, okay, those would be interesting to have too. So one of the albums that I just recently got, in fact, all of this stuff I'm going to show you is like within the last week or so that all the stuff arrived, and so I kind of went on a little bit of a, you know, did one of those where I was out on eBay and that looked cool, and then I was like, buy it now, and then it said you might also want to look at this, and I was like, you know what, you're right, I would also want to look at this. And so wind up buy. So let me show you this. I'm really pleased. See, the Monkees actually the foursome as we know it really kind of broke up in '69 really, after they did their movie Head. Technically, and most people don't even know about the movie they did. That's how bad things were at that point in time. They didn't, you know, it's a weird, quirky, bizarre kind of thing. I'm pretty sure they were all high at the time that they came up with it and when they were doing it. Jack Nicholson, bankrolled the movie and helped direct it, not just on screen, but also the album, some of the recording stuff. That Jack Nicholson was that involved with the Monkees, with getting this stuff going at the time, which is kind of fun, little fun fact. But anyway, so Peter Tork was actually the first to leave the band. Really, even before the movie Head came out, he was already indicating that he was tired of that, because he's actually a very talented musician, can play multiple instruments, and of course, you know, the Monkees were kind of a constraining factor, and both he and Mike Nesmith were struggling that their musical artistry was limited in many ways because of what the Monkees did and didn't allow them to be able to do on their own kind of stuff. But Peter was the first one to buy out his contract and hit the road. And so at that point, the Monkees continued on as a threesome of Mike, Mickey, and Davey until Mike ultimately left, and it was just Mickey and Davey. And Mickey and Davey kind of parted ways, but they really kept the flame going just on their own. They did some stuff, but then they also joined up with Boyce and Hart, who had been their songwriters for a lot of their songs, everything from the Monkees theme to Last Train to Clarksville on through a whole bunch of other stuff. they joined up, and they couldn't call themselves the Monkees now. So what they did was they did a little traveling show where they said, you know, it was the great hits of the golden great hits of the Monkee Show, the guys who sang them and the guys who wrote them, or something like that. You know, some long-winded thing like that. And so the Dolenz, Jones, Boyce and Hart made an album or two, and they toured around and did some stuff. And then, of course, things floundered. Things Davy really kind of kept things going, the consummate showman. But then come the 1980s. In the 1980s, MTV does the Monkees, this TV series, as a marathon on MTV, and a whole new generation learns to appreciate the prefab four, and so suddenly there's this whole rebirth of the Monkees. And so 1985 into 86, Mike at that point was not interested in being part of the Monkees. He was doing other things. It wasn't like he hated the Monkees, but he just wasn't interested in being part of the touring band and doing that kind of stuff. Just he was beyond that now. But Davy, Mickey, and Peter came back. The three of them toured as the Monkees, as the headlining group for a show that included Herman's Hermits, Paul Revere and the Raiders, and the Grassroots. And so all of those groups were in this traveling show, with the Monkees' 20th anniversary tour being the headlining piece of that. And so that they traveled the country. At the end of that tour, when they were out in Los Angeles, Mike Nesmith joined them on stage for a couple of shows, and it was the first time since 1969 that the Monkees, the foursome known as the Monkees, were together again on stage performing. And so I am very thrilled that one of the eBay purchases that I now have is an album of that recording of the Monkees live in Los Angeles, September 7th, 1986. I know all that because, see, it's right here on the back too. But so I was very excited to have that. Along with that, I also got another Monkees album. This one's called Tales of the Monkees, and it's a picture disc. You can see that. It's a picture disc. And the reason I like it, it has several songs on it that are pretty well known. Last Train to Clarksville and all that kind of stuff. But it's got some of the Dolenz, Jones, Boyce and Hart stuff on it. But more importantly, inserted amongst the various tracks, there's comments, there's interview clips, mostly from Mike, but from some others as well. And I think that's really cool. I haven't had a chance even to listen to it yet, but I'm looking forward to it. So that's another nifty eBay purchase. Thank you, eBay. And then I got myself a couple of 45s. One is the Monkees they're both from the 80s during the resurgence. They did an album called Pool It, which was Mickey and Davy and Peter, and this is a 45 from that album, where one side is a song called Every Step of the Way, and the other side is I'll Love You Forever. And so that's really cool to have that. Nice 45 there, see? So that's cool. And then also they released a live concert album of the three of them in concert, and there actually were some 45s from that. And so I got this. Now this one's kind of cool. I got to show you this one. You can see this one, it's red. Isn't that cool? It's red. Anyway, this is the song. Also off of that album was the song Heart and Soul, and that's one side of what we have here. And then also the song MGBGT, which is a song that Peter that Peter wrote about his car, his MGBGT, and so those are great to have those things there. So that was fun. That's all the Monkee stuff I got. But I also want to show you. Notice up behind me, if you can see it up there. Can the sun just hit my face? I couldn't see, but can you see my Stargate up there? See the little Stargate? Yeah, it's a wall-hanging Stargate from Stargate SG-1 and Stargate Atlantis and Stargate, well, the Stargate movie and Stargate Universe. Anyway, I decided I don't have enough Stargate stuff. I don't really have much of any Stargate stuff, and so I got myself my own Stargate. See, right there. I'm not going to leave it out here on the porch and fade in the sun, but it's a beautiful wall hanging. It's really detailed. It's fabulous. But in addition to that, I also got myself this box that is full of the entire series of Stargate SG-1 from season 1 See, can you see season 1? Oh, move the camera. There we go. Season 1 all the way through season 10 of Stargate SG-1. All 10 seasons in this box right here. And here's the kicker. I got the entire box for 50 bucks. Now, you can't buy 10 seasons of any TV series for 50 bucks. But again, that's the joys of eBay. Somebody puts it out there, and if nobody else bids, whatever they've started off with, that's where things start off. That's what you can give. And I waited and waited and waited until the very last minute because I didn't want to put a bid in and have somebody else say, "Ooh, take notice of that." But because there are other entire series DVD collections that are sold on eBay that sell for twice that much. And so I don't know what the story is. They're all in great shape. So I don't know what the story was, why they were selling it so cheap, but I'm glad I'm the one who scored them. I have several episodes of Stargate SG-1 in my iTunes library, but I love this because now these are DVDs and I can just throw them in and watch them anytime I want to. I don't have to have my computer on. And I know I could have got the Apple TV thing, but yeah, that's too much hassle, too much trouble. Now, here's the real funny part of this. It's circling back to starting off talking about Brandy. Brandy has decided that I need new clothes because, I'm slimmed down, but I'm still wearing the clothes that, I wore when I was larger, and you can tell some of it's a little bit baggy. But Brandy decided I need new clothes, and she challenged me that I should be out buying clothes, and I said, well, I don't really like using my money on that. I mean, I'm kind of cheap, It's like, if it's wearable, I still like to wear it, It's like I have a lot of trouble with spending money on myself on clothes. If I have to do it, I'll do it. But if I don't have to do it, well, I'll not do it. And so she was listening to me give that whole spiel about that and then started laughing. And I couldn't figure out why she was laughing so much. And finally she said, so you're giving me this whole spiel about how you don't want to buy yourself clothes that would make you look better because you don't want to spend the money on that. But in the meantime, you got all this stuff from eBay that's showing up, monkey stuff and Stargate stuff. And I said, yeah, what's your point? I have priorities. But Brandy was committed to ensuring that I looked good, and so she actually, bless her heart, she went out and she bought me a couple of pairs of slacks. She bought me some khaki slacks and some gray slacks. And in fact, I'm wearing the khaki slacks that she got me right now. So here, let me move stuff around here a bit so you can get a chance to see the khaki slacks. And just for your comparison purposes, see, here's the old pair that I used to that I have been wearing. See, this is the other pair that Brandy says was too baggy. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think? I think maybe she might be onto something. So see, I'm wearing the khaki slacks that she got me, and look how they don't have a lot of bag to them. See, they fit. Well, I'm on my back deck now. I have to finish the episode out here because my iPhone literally shut down because of heat. Sitting out on the front porch because I had the windows closed. It's funny, it's in November here now, but because the windows were closed, the sun was shining in on the iPhone and the iPhone overheated. And so it said I couldn't use it anymore until it had a chance to cool down. So I'm out here to let it cool down a bit. But anyway, I wanted to make sure to finish the episode before I jumped in my car and head on back to work. So I'm very grateful to Brandy for buying me those slacks. Now I haven't been able to see the video yet to see how much of that video I'll be able to use. Hopefully it all held up, but I'm sure it abruptly ended. So sorry about that. But they do look nice. See that? See there? See, they do look. They're not baggy at all. They fit nicely, and so I guess it's the start of my expanding my wardrobe or replacing my wardrobe, whichever the case may be. Anyway, I got to get going now. I do have to get back to work. So with that, I will see you next time from my front porch.